Good evening all and welcome to take 3 of this particular review on All Hail the Ale. Why take 3 you ask? Well, the first one, I reviewed it and I was, how should we say, 3 sheets to the wind and reviewing the footage. It didn't go down so well. The second attempt at reviewing this beer, the microphone battery died. So the boom mic was doing absolutely nothing and all you could see on the screen was just my lips moving, and it was just like watching an old Bruce Lee film where the audio was completely out of sync, except in this case there was no audio at all. And this one, take 3, I've checked the battery in the camera, I've checked the battery in the microphone, I've just checked it visually to make sure it's switched on, and it's the first beer of the night. Anyway, the beer in question is this one. It is a Lagunitas IPA, imported by Heineken into the UK from the Lagunitas Brewing Company in, I'm going to hopefully say this correctly, Petaluma, California and Chicago, Illinois. And it says on the bottle, and it's in very small text, so yeah, bear with me. It says, thanks for choosing to spend the next few minutes with this special homicidally hoppy ale. Savour the moment as the raging hop character engages the imperial qualities of the malt foundation in mortal combat on the battlefield of your palate. And it says, beer speaks, people mumble. And that is fighting talk, I must say. And I will tell you something about the homicidally hoppy bit in a little while, because I think it's interesting. Anyway, what else do we know about the beer? It says it contains barley, malt and wheat. The BBE is to be found on the neck, and that is the 7th of January 2020. I'm guessing they put a year on it. It doesn't tell me anything about the particular hops or anything more than that. We know it's a 6.2% IPA and it's a 355ml bottle, and you can buy it in Tesco's on the 3 for £5.25 offer, or £1.80 each. So there it is. Let's crack her open and see what we get. I would if you could get the bottle cap off. I've never had this before. The rim on the bottle is really tight to the crown, meaning the bottle cap opener that I'm using, is tight to get underneath. Anywho, the pour, I expect it to be pale again, as always. Yeah, it is. And that's our beer. It's crystal clear, very lightly carbonated, little bit of action going on from the bottom of the glass, nothing heavy. We've got nearly 2 fingers of whitehead. It's pretty compact, a few craters in the top, a bit like the moonscape. And yeah, let's get some aromas. So I've got a bit of hay fever going on today. Been out mowing the lawn, and it leaves you a little bit kind of stuffy. It smells like beer. It smells a little bit hoppy, a little tiny bit of citrus. Nothing particularly obvious other than that. So let's dive in and see if it lives up to the homicidally hoppy tagline on the bottle. Cheers. We'll go back to that point I made about something on the bottle. Now it says homicidally hoppy. I have found this to be one of the most inconsistent beers I've had in terms of flavour and profile. The first one I had, I would say, did fit the homicidally hoppy tagline. It was really, really hoppy, and the burn was, it was there. It wasn't unpleasant, but it was there. more recent ones have been so sweet and lacking hop profile. You kind of thought, well, is this the same beer just in the wrong bottle? Or sorry, is it the wrong beer in the same bottle? And this one sits somewhere in the middle. It is hoppier than the more recent ones, but it's not as hoppy as some. But let's not hold that against it for this moment in time. It's a classic old school IPA type flavour. There's nothing sort of new world about it. There's no big fruity flavours. There's no juicy tropical hops. It's just a big beer. And I respect it for that. Because sometimes you don't want new world. Sometimes you just want old school beer that just tastes like beer and is maybe a little bit stronger. I mean, 6.2, it's not particularly strong, but it's stronger than your average sort of supermarket lager or bitter. Does it taste any better though? Again, the inconsistency plays a big part here, because this particular one, whilst it's hoppier than the more recent batches, it's lacking profile. It's lacking oomph. It's just... Think of it like this. When you have a Vindaloo, you get a good chef can balance heat and flavour, and you get a bad chef that just packs in shed loads of chili just to whack up the heat, and you know. And I think that's what I've got here. This particular one, in fact Lagunitas as a whole, has been like a Vindaloo in the hands of a bad chef. It's like they've put no thought into the flavour profile, and they've just gone, right, let's just find something really hoppy, that's slightly resinous, that would fit into an IPA recipe, and put shitloads of it in. And that's what they've done. They've not thought about it too much, I don't think anyway. So, there we are. Another disappointing bottle of Lagunitas, which will probably be my last. In fact, it will be my last. Would I go and buy it again? Well, I wanted to after the first one. The second one, I was like, really? And this one, it's like, well, it's a third kind of... Well, I say third kind. It's not the third one, but the third sort of batch that I've bought from over the years. It just doesn't, it isn't consistent, it's not good enough. I mean, with a brewery like Heineken behind you, you really ought, be able to put some consistency into your brew, and there is just none here. I mean, yeah, there's sometimes big beer is a bad thing, but they've got consistency down to a fine art. And when you want beer to taste good, you need that. And unfortunately, even with big breweries behind you like Heineken, goes to show you can't always achieve it. So there we are. Let's give it a score. Would I go and buy it again? No, I'm not going to buy it again. Would I pour it down the drain? Okay, because I'm not used to going below 3. Would I pour it down the drain? Probably not at this point in time, but yeah, if I was going to drain pour it, it'd be less than 2, a lot less than 2. In fact, no, 1 would be a drain pour. I think this, yeah, it's not worth any more than a 2. So that's what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give a Lagunitas IPA 2 out of 5. So sorry guys and girls of Lagunitas, and it's just not consistent enough to get a good idea of what you're trying to achieve here. If you had consistency and you were sort of erring towards an older batch of this that I'd tried, where you had a bit more flavour, you had the hops, yeah, I could say at £1.80 it's a bargain, but I've not had that consistency, so I cannot rate it very highly at all, I'm afraid. So there we are, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Thank you for watching. This has been the rather disappointing Lagunitas IPA. I've been Nick, and I'll see you again soon for hopefully a better tasting beer in another video. Bye.